told him if I have a chance can start on 6:30, but okay, 15 minutes delay. But anyway, I will do another additional 1 hour in my next class. Please. So we will discuss the selection process of the contractors. So these are the typical process. First, you have to pre-qualify your contractors. For example, some of the contract. You can listen me, no?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. So in the sum of the contract, you have to pre-qualify whether you have a sufficient technical knowledge or capacity to deliver the project. Not only the technical, but financially also you have to pre-qualify to do the projects, and also similar kind of nature project. So the one of the some of the tenders, first you have to pre-qualify the contractor. After selecting in the pre-qualification process, you have to distribute among the tender, because this is basically complex projects. For example, think harbor construction, tunnel construction. Likewise, you need the experience, and also the building. Also, you should have a capacity, because if your financial strength is not enough, that normally no one is giving a 5-6 billion projects to contractors. So therefore, financial stability, financial ratios, especially the you may go through that account ratios, liquidity ratio, liability ratios, like asset ratios. You have to consider those things, financial stability, before awarding the project, and also technical capacity. Most of the cases, technical capacity come under qualification of the people. Which kind of people that professionals are work under your organization. In the pre-qualification, after pre-qualification stage, you are asked to give the proposals or invitation of the bid. Normally, this is a paper advertisement. You can see a lot of bid invitations in the daily news, day-to-day papers. So normally that invitation is published. So you, based on that, there are guidelines given in the invitation as well. So basic requirement, for example, you need the SIDA registered contractors, but when you come in the depend on the values. For example, normally less than the 60 million, you can go for the below C4, more than 60 million, 100 million, you can go for the higher grade of SIDA registered contractors like that. So that has to be clearly mentioned. And also some of the, especially on the government project, budgeted cost, engineering estimate has to be mentioned. And also what is the closing date and uh, what is the closing date and the pre-bid meeting. That also need to mention in the invitation. After issuing the tender, uh, anyone has involved in the tender? Anyone is involved in the tenders?
Yes, sir, I'm involved. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Right. So yeah, I can't. Yeah, can. Hello.
Yes, sir, I'm
Yeah, I
joining.
can't
I'm
hear you
involved.
properly.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, I'm joining with my hand phone. Not clear, sir.
All right. So that others can hear properly. No. So that in the tenders, you have to fill the required segments. For the construction, most of the cases, you have to do the BOQs, fill the bill of quantities, and also you have to submit the relevant bonds and guarantees. Normally, uh, with guarantee, you have to submit. Uh, uh, so the tender wise in so normally all the contractors after submitting the bid evaluation, normally open tenders, you are evaluate the prices are normally exposed in the bid opening meeting. They will expose, and also they are saying that who are qualified because of the by considering bid bond and the required document. But anyway, bid evaluation is done during the technical evaluation as well, because evaluation board, they have to sit together and reviewing certain technical requirement and the price they have to evaluate, and based on the technical proposal, they will evaluate the successful bidder. Sometime for the basic, most of the cases in the private tenders, there are so many interviews and negotiations. So this will happen to negotiate the prices and also to get the alternative methods. And also, but most of the cases recommend not to do any contractual agreement, contract changes, but pricing negotiations can be done through the negotiations and interviews. After selection, final selection, normally letter of acceptance will be sent after confirming the final successful bid. Condition in the procurement process. Fair competition. What is the fair competition? So they are for the when you are getting the bid or quotation or tender call for the tender, you should have a fair number of similar capacity competitors. Otherwise, you can't get a good accurate bidding. So integrity and transparency. So it should be all the detail should be given to the all the contractors similar manner. Call for the pre-bid meeting and give a detailed discussion with the bidders and share their comments. And if there is some contractors will ask the questions through the emails and basically email in writing, they have to write, get the clarification. Once the clarification is given, normally procedure is given to all the parties. Confidential. That all the details from each bidders should be top secret and keep it confidentially, not exposed to the others during the procurement process. So, and accountability, because that there should be accountability of the organization to keep it, and social responsibility to give a, that is some, especially in the government project, it's one of the social responsibility to do a proper procurement process. And the anti-corruption, there are so many tenders, there are so many issues, change this kind of unauthorized things should not have. This is after selecting a proper contractor. So this is a construction phase. So you have to plan in the project and do the construction in the as per the aspect of transforming contract and agreement. Normally, all the construction agreement are considered as a contracts. So anyone know what is the definition of the contract? Can anyone tell that? Manam Peruma? What is the contract? How to form a contract? So not answering. So like this, you all are in the class, no? So contract,
Yes, sir.
to form a
There should be two
contract,
party offer and acceptance in law. We
offer and accept only, or not only the offer and accept. There should be another part, important part.
consideration.
Consideration. Correct. Good. So to complete the contract, it should be a offer, acceptance, and the consideration. So that is a normal to form a contract. So main contract, there are several contracts in the construction procurement. Normally we call main contract. That's a primary agreement between the employer and the contractor. So in this contract, normally we mention what is the scope of work, payment terms. There are implied terms and we call implied terms also, that condition of contract, schedules, specification, all are included in the main contract. Subcontract agreements between the main contract, normally we call signing with the main contractor and subcontract. Who is the subcontractor? For example, now think about Sanjay is the main client, and Mana Peruma is a main contract. So Sanjay and Mana Peruma sign an agreement contract to construct a house. Then the Mana Peruma give the excavation work to the Mahesh. So then the subcontract will form with the Mana Peruma and the Mahesh. there are special categories called nominated subcontractors. That means under the main contract, nominated subcontractor will nominate it. So that is called nominated contract. That is, but that also come under the main contractor. That is also part of the subcontract agreement. And the supply contract. Supply contract means the procurement of materials. So, for example, nowadays most of the houses the employer, that means client, supply the material. So then he will sign with the for example, he will sign the agreement with the Tokyo Concrete to supply the concrete. That will be the supply contracts. Pre-construction activities. So these are the basic things. So you have to have you go through fast site preparation. Before that, before tendering, actually permit and approval, you have to get it. Without that, you can't do a tendering because sometimes it can be change the scope. But permit and approval should be placed. Site preparation should be done, and also the mobilization. That mobilization means the contract is going to site to start the work. Stakeholder, so aspect of so stakeholder engagement. There are so many stakeholders are engaging in the construction project. Uh, so that is a client and contract coordination. So in the day, contract is liable to deliver the project to the so therefore there should be proper communication between the client and contractor and the project managers. So project managers or consultant facilitate the relationship with the client and contractor. And community engagement, informing local communities about the upcoming construction activities and addressing any current impacts. You know that there are so many environment concerns, especially sound concerns, sound restriction. If you are going to do the factory, there will be a environment factors. So if you are doing a Havelock City like mall, you have to do the environment impact assessment. Sorry, not environmental, the traffic impact assessment, because there can be a traffic violations on the front of the road. So, front of the premises. So that will be good to inform the local people doing the construction work. Transition to use the testing and commissioning is one of the main important thing in the not only the construction, especially machinery, the testing all systems they operate in most of the system you have to get certification from two engineer, electric. You need the chartered engineer commission report. Handover, completing formal handover, transfer the documentation, keys and operation manuals to the client. This will do through the engineered contract. So that is a contract contract law, but done through the projects. You have a special consultant to take over the building behalf of the client. Training, and also you have to give providing the training to the client person. So as I said in the Lotus Tower, special condition was given to do the training to the local operators, because this is the first time in Sri Lanka we have to maintain the building. So how with the new technology, how to operate these new technologies and also operate the equipment. Especially, you know that highest speed lift were installed in the Lotus Tower, 7 meter per second. That is the first time in Sri Lanka. So this kind of machineries, you need a special training to operate. So this kind of training you have to give for the end user. The post-construction activities, these are the defect liability period. You know that any product you have to give a any defect liability period, that warranty wise, that if any defects due to the construction, you have to give a assurance to rectify that one. So defect liability period is a period during which contractor is responsible for correcting the defects. Normally this is a 1 year. If you want, as per the contractual requirement, you can extend the defect liability period, but commonly defect liability period is a 1 year. And the longevity and optimal performance of the facility. So a maintenance generator, etc. And after the 1 year, you have to final review and close out what are the end of the project. You have to calculate the defects and missing lagging work, likewise, and based on that you have to conclude review the final outcome and conclude the project. Use phase and operational consideration. The use phase, also known as the operational phase of the construction project, refers to the period after construction of complete and facility infrastructure is used. This phase involves ensuring effective and efficient operation, maintenance, and management. This same thing like that post construction, that but after defect liability period, that owners has to be operate the building. So that is the important part. And most of the apartment building, there are so many companies doing these management things. We call maintenance, doing the providing security, cleaning, putting the oil to the generator. So we call facility management. You can see a lot of facility management companies doing the maintenance work of the World Trade Center, Lotus Tower, Havelock City, lot of in the building cases. Still, I didn't know about that road, but road is normally maintenance work doing by the RDC. So day-to-day operational and maintenance work doing by the facility management team. They are basically overseeing the daily operation as per the requirement. And also building service building system management. Building system management means some of the buildings are centralized AC. Then they have to monitor. They have to maintain the carbon dioxide content, and also small that air indoor air quality. So that you need the qualified engineers or maintenance engineers to maintain that one. And also lighting system, because you know that Lotus Tower, there are lights are changing. So, and also some energy efficiency light you have to install inside the building. So whether they are working with the motion sensors, not properly working, likewise you have to maintain them. Preventive maintenance. As I said, schedule inspection, that especially in the lift generator, you have a schedule inspection. Routine services. You have to change, like vehicles, some of the equipment you have to do change the oil, cable, even you have to change some of the lift for the after 5 to 10 years. Sometimes you have to change the cable as well. And also corrective maintenance. What are the corrective maintenance? Repair works. If there's any repair you have to do, you have to do. And also upgrade. Sometimes system you may have to upgrade. For example, tell your pump is 10 horsepower. Sometimes you need you have to cater, you are adding some pipe outlets and you have to cater for the 15 bar. So then you have to upgrade the motors. Energy efficiency is a sustainable energy management and sustainability that it's very important in the building. You have to monitor the energy use like that. Sustainable practice are waste management, water conversions. For example, normally you have to use the rainwater and also that for the irrigation system, recycling, etc. Health and safety inspection, conducting regular safety inspection identify and address the potential hazards. For example, some oil leaks, etc. So you have, and also regulatory compliance, building code and standard. Sometimes, for example, fire standard may be changed, but you have to, based on the require law change, you have to change it. And also there are different gazettes came for the disables. So accessibility requirement also most important when considering the compliance. Comfort and accessibility. Indoor environment quality, as I said, it should be perfect. Accessibility features, providing features and service to the accommodate need for all the occupants. And also it's better to get the feedbacks and the communication from the end users. In our first lecture, these are the recommended books you can read and the papers. So that the first part of so we covered basically these contents we covered and so I want to discuss the your assignment. I will basically your assignment based on the project proposal which expecting private company to implement and in the future. In that case, you have to write a individual report by considering project concept development, and also that in that case you have to critically discuss the feasibility studies and also the which kind of contract they should go and how to procure the project. So that will be our assignments from my side. Basically, you have to write around 1,000 to 1,200 words by considering the proposal for the maybe will be for the service building or the apartment. So I didn't think about that, but basically you have to write especially concept development by considering the client requirement and the other third party constraint as well. So it's not a big thing how to implement the project and also which kind of how you're going to procure the proper contractor. Your decision and the conclusion will be like that. Okay, we'll go for the part 2. Document related to the construction design project. What are the documents you know for the construction project? Maheshi?
So drawings, specifications, agreements, MOU, LOA.
Right, good. So those are the document related to construction project, but how it's coming from? Normally, it should be project brief and scope document. As I say, that normally, so client vision or objective is the most of the case we define from the project. As I said, excuse me, as I said, definition, the client is give the requirement objectives. Based on that, the consultant or design engineer establish the project scope. In this project scope document, project goals are the most important. And who are the stakeholders, and the timeline and the budget expectation. Project goal means, as I said, so we get the example that, so the one of the hotel client, hotel investor want to do the hotel top of the railway station. So then there will be a lot of stakeholders, designers, railway station also one of the railway department, road development authority, and also design side um, engineers, project managers, architect, quantity surveyors. They are the stakeholders. Not only that, there are some suppliers, special subcontractors. Then the timeline and budget expectations. Those are the three items you have to brief in the project brief. What is the design brief? So this is a document developed by the designer based on the project brief. For example, recently I visited one of the private organization to do the office building for them. With my architect, I went there. So earlier we have a small discussion with them. They say they need a say 6 numbers car parks, and they say they need 4 floors for the office and 1 the definitions. So based on that, we have to prepare the document for the developer. We have to, as a designers, we have to develop the project brief, how we going to allocate these client requirements. So the purpose, provide detailed requirement and constraint to the design teams. For example, the constraints are purpose, because normally in that discussion they say you can't go for the basement, because they are saying there are 2 old house there, so you can't go the basement. Like the constraints, you have to mention to the design team. So key container as a functional requirement. As I said in the office, that private client, he said we need the 3 floors of the office and top floor for the boardroom. And also he said 6 car park. And also he said is the expectation what he said is, he said that he need the glass facade. And also he said it should be a sustainable, because they are energy oriented firm. So they say they need to that green building type building. That means green building mean not the trees and things, but energy. In that energy, more economical energy building to operate, and technical specifications. Sometimes, as I said, they will give the technical specification. Especially, they say they need the for Lotus Tower. They say they need the high speed lift in the country. Likewise, special technical give the for the project. So it will come for the site investigation report. So there are several site investigation report definition and assessment of the construction site physical and environmental conditions. So you have to give the site investigation basically is include what is surrounding and also what kind of soil, etc. So we are which level is the water table, like that. Normally in the soil investigation report, you may know in the bigger project you have to do the bore test, and also this give the especially that in the site investigation report it clearly involve clearly give the topography and soil condition, environmental zoning constraint, and utility and accessibility. So that mean it's a phase to that by not accessible because they have more one road like. So these are the key component of the site investigation report. Planning clearance. So do you know the PPC? What? Anyone know about the PPC? Hello. Do you know about the PPC? What is the preliminary planning clearance? Before you do the designing, you have to know about this. For example, in the land. So think about you have a land in the face to the near the airport. So land in some special location. So then you have a different frontage of the land. That what is the width for the face into the road? These kind of factors are affecting for the construction of the building. So before you do the designing, normal procedure is normally architectures are putting a getting the preliminary planning clearance by applying through the UDA. So that they will give the how many stories based on your plot ratio, road frontage, construction area, proposed land is situated. Based on these, they will give the clearance how many you can do. So how many setback you have to keep. Likewise, how much so these are through the PTA. After that, it's most of the survey. You see you can see that near the you say near the parliamentary, they give you are planning to do the 8-story or 10-story. what the preliminary clearance also gave to do the 8-story building. You have to have a technical survey whether you can do 8-story building on that soil. That you have to investigate through the borehole testing. So the purpose of this to evaluate the soil condition, where is the rock, because normally, as I said, the parliament area, the soil is very weak. So then in this kind of scenario, so you have to find out what is the load bearing capacity of the soil. So based on that, you have to identify the foundation and also where the groundwater table. Sometimes you can't excavate it because water table is very high. So then you have to do the dewatering. So many subsequent activities you have to do. And soil permeability and drainage. So how the water is disposed, how the sometimes because of the water permeability issues, you have to use the water treatment plant, sewer treatment plant, etc. And also topographical survey, that means a detailed map of the site physical features, elevation and contours. For example, if you are doing the project in the Candid area, there are so many topological variations. So that has to be identified. Based on that, you have to design the entrance, how many levels. Sometimes your basement will be the entrance, and likewise, depend on the topographical survey, you have to decide. You have to do the design. So this is include the side boundaries, property lines, and contours and elevations, natural and man-made features, access point, etc. So environment assessment. Anyone know about the environment assessment? So environment assessment is ensure that project complies the environment regulation, reduce the environment impact. So most of the mega projects, you have to do the environment impact assessment. So these are contain existing flora and fauna, that is identified vegetation and animal life, and could require prevention of relocation. As I said earlier, that we have done the Hilton Yala project. In that time, we provide the elephant path to move the wild elephants, and also we made the ponds to drink water for them, and we cultivated trees because we cut few trees, but not cut the root bowling. We removing from one side and relocated in another. And especially in the factory building, noise and air quality assessment, you have to do. In the hydrological survey, especially hydrological survey is required for the power plant. Mini hydros, you have to do that. Surface water flow, flood risk, drainage system, etc. You have to do in the in hydrological survey, especially in that mini hydropowers project. You may know that that you have a colvier, tunnels, channels, and a 4-bay tank, powerhouse. So those should be located based on the hydrological survey. Because of the flood levels, it can be damaged. Based on that proper analysis, you can construct those activities. And the other thing are the historical and archaeological studies. Purpose is identify any historical or archaeological sites that require protection. You know that in the one project, near that there is a building. Earlier City Police was there. That building was a archaeological more than 100 years old building. So we cannot remove that one. In that case, we have to protect that building. and also that we have to consider that as a design. So the 3 towers were constructed without disturbing that. So the piling also designed not to touch that historical building contains. So the heritage conventional area highlight protects, especially you are doing the structures in the Nuwara sorry, Anuradhapura, Sigiriya, you have so many restrictions. Archaeological findings, especially when you are doing excavation near the heritage archaeological area, you have to have a special care to provide. So the what are the benefits of investigation report? So first thing is the risk reduction. So it's very important to identify the risk. So for example, as I say, so identifying the rock. So in the Colombo Lotus Tower, we have done the 20 to around 20 boreholes test to identify the rock level. Because in the Lotus Tower project, we have to excavate the tower foundation up to the base. So to do that, we should have a proper identification of the rock. So that is with the site investigation report, we got enormous details where how the rock is in the under the soil. So that is a one thing. Other thing is there can be a unexpected boulders, rock. For example, when you are doing the tunnel project, there can be rocks in a very shallow level. Then you have to blast. Those will be a extra cost for the project. So to identify these things, so site investigation reports are much vital. And also, as I said, foundation design ensure the soil can support the proposed structure, reducing likelihood of foundation failure. So to identify the foundation capacities, to decide which kind of foundation, especially you are going to the raft or pile. So the soil investigation or site investigation reports most important to protect the environment. So environment ensure that construction respect local ecosystem and complies with the environment law. As I say, when we are doing the yard, so it's important to identify what are the trees are going to relocate, which kind of trees we have to plant in the future to balance the that environment, and also what kind of what kind of path the ponds we have to produce, how to accommodate for the wild animals to walk through the hotel, not the hotel premises. Likewise, so it's important to design the local ecosystem, and also cost and time efficiency. So early identification of the risk will minimize the cost, because otherwise you may know that a lot of contractors are coming with the unexpected unforeseen situation. So they are saying we have not expect this kind of thing. Now this is unforeseen to perform our contract. So therefore we need the extra money. So we need the extra time for this one. For example, so when you are doing the construction, there will be a huge boulder found in the 2 meter below the excavation level. Then the contractor come and say, now come and see, these rocks are we didn't identify. You have not done the proper site investigation. So we need the extra cost to blast this rock. And also they request additional time as well. Sometimes, for example, you think you are doing the Olympic stadium. So you can't give extra time. No? but actually it will because of the less investigation report, this project will drag. So it's very important to do the proper investigation before starting the project. Application in the design and construction. So basically this is based on the report, site investigation report, you have to identify what is the foundation design and foundation. Basically, with the site investigation report, soil investigation, you have to design the foundation based on the which kind of structure you're going to construct. For get the road, you are going to do the construct a road. Then you have to identify which kind of fillings base to accommodate to do the highway. Likewise, the site investigation report is more important to identify the soil condition, and based on that, foundation and structural design will be done, especially the foundation. So foundation design will be done using the soil investigation report. Drainage and landscape, as I said, in the Nuvareli area or Nuvar Kandy area, topographical and hydrological survey help design effective water management and landscape. So landscaping with the outside of the building, how to do the designing, so that topographical survey is most important. And also permit acquisition. Many regions require site investigation report to building permits. You know that in the Colombo area, you have to get the approval for the basement construction from NBR. In that case, you need the site investigation report to get the building permit. In the Kandy or the central province also, you need, I think, site investigation report, because a lot of retaining structures are involved. So that area also you need that one. So feasibility studies. It's an analysis of the project viability in the term of technical and financial feasibility. The purpose is to determine the project is achievable within the defined constraint. You know that. So as I said, I am going to do a construction with 100 million. So because of the site investigation report, I have to do a soundproof walls around the building, and also the foundation should be the pile, not the raft or individual footings. That will be a huge cost. So then the feasibility study we need that. So it's important in the technical wise and to financial feasibility as well, because technical feasibility directly impact the financial feasibility. This is the key containment of the feasibility study is the cost estimate, risk assessment, and financial and timeline forecast. So conceptual design document. This is a normally the concept is illustrated with the illustrate to the client. What is the initial design solution and the architectural sketch for the project. So normally all the professionals like Bava, Cecil Bellman, you may know that the waterfront architect. They are very famous architect. They are doing sketches, not the 3Ds. Nowadays, a lot of new architects are doing the 3Ds. So that, but earlier they have done the sketches for the project, and the basic requirement is to visualize ideas and refine the client expectation. Nowadays, you can't do the sketches. You can do, you are starting from the sketches, but you have to give a proper 3Ds. Otherwise, client will not impress. To get the client approval, you need the 3Ds, you need the walkthroughs, you need the advanced technology softwares to create the models. Otherwise, they will not approve your concept. Earlier, that most of the architect construct the model as well. Portable models they are constructing. You can see the still some of the architects are doing this one. So in this document, you have to give the sketches, model, floor plans, elevation, what are the materials. When you are doing the hotels, for example, in the high quality operator like a Hilton, Continental, Marriott, you have to give the material samples. Which kind of material come for your bed? What are the tiles you are putting in the bathroom? What are the carpets? Backdrop, bed head design, samples, materials. You have to give it. You have to show to the client before approving. Schematic designs and document. They are developed design based on the approval. Once the concept is approved in layout, show the layouts and dimensions. For the purpose of the communicate design intent and the aligns the stakeholder in the project direction. Because after approving the concept, you have to give a what is the size, exact size, detail as not the fully detailed, but schematic design means that sizes of the rooms, those things, floor plans, section, structural, which kind of structurals are coming, which size of columns are coming, which kind of say, for example, 500 kilowatt generator is like that. You have to give the schematic designs for the client approval. After that, you have to do the proper design development document. They are detailed design addressing specific system, material, and the layer. So this is the most important to do the costing for the QS in the tender stage. So you need the design proper detailed design, including specification, system, material, and layer. Purpose is to resolve major project design issues before final design stage. So key container of the design development document is a detailed plans, elevation, material specification, structural, and MEP details. So you have to give like what is the slab thickness, what is the beam size, what is the floor to floor height, everything included in the design development document. So after this will completing, you have to do the construction document. This is the final document. So fully detailed document that guide the construction. This gives all the instructions for the contractors and the subcontractor, detailed drawings, plan. For example, we are to lap the reinforcement. How to anchor the reinforcement. What is the anchorage? So many minor details you have to include. In the tile grooves, tile patterns. So normally detailed drawings, you have to give a tile layout as well. Material, finishing schedule, etc. You have to provide in the construction document. What is the specification document? That is another thing. Because most of the contracts, the design document, with the construction document, you will get the specification document. So these are the sometimes for a mega project is a huge book. For the Lotus Tower, the specification book is more than 1,000 pages. So it's a detailed written description of the material, product, and the workmanship. So this is a quality, expected quality and the consistent throughout the construction. For example, the concrete specification are given. This test has to be done. This kind of material you have to use. This kind of cement you have to use. Detail wise, it mentioned. Based on that, contractor has to perform the contract. So these are the specification: performance specification, perspective specification, proprietary spec. What is the proprietary specs? Normally, proprietary specs is something like that. The pay you can specify the paint. Paint is like a new CIC paint or equivalent like that. So you give the sample brand wise you give samples. So this is a bill of quantities in the construction document. Bill of quantities is most of the measure and pay contracts. You have a bill of quantities, and also the lump sum contract. Also, you have a bill of quantities to get the idea of the price. Bill of quantities we call BOQ. So, anyone in the QS firm? Anyone is QS?
Yes, sir, I was.
Alright, so you are much aware about to prepare the BOQs, no?
Yes.
So, right. So it's very important to develop a BOQ, detailed quantities of materials, unit rate, total cost, allowance, and the provision of sums. So in the bill of quantities, it should be more accurate, but there can be a slight tolerance plus or minus 5%, but it should not be a effect to the major cost components. So this is a new technique, but actually this is not now new. This is most of the companies now dealing with the BIM models, building information modeling document. Recently we have applied for the to convert the Bandaranaike airport existing building to convert to the BIM model. So what is the BIM model? This is a digital 3D model, include detailed information of the project coordination. So the purpose is to enhance the collaboration, provide a comprehensive overview of the project. So that means it's not like AutoCAD or whatever SketchUp like that. So this is a normally for the BIM model is you have to have a use the proper softwares like a Revit. Normally I am using the Revit to do the BIM models. So this is a because all the consultant can work on the same platform. First architect develop the building, then structural engineer can do the structural design using his model. Then the MEP engineer can do the MEP design. The quantity survey can extract the quantities through the model, and also that you can get the design visualization. How is this flow to flow wise is enough? Is this your head is going to hit on the beam, or that window size is enough when you compare to the wall? So AC is can you get the AC pipe from the under the beam, because is it enough space in the ceiling and slab bottom? Likewise, detailed visualization can be done through the BIM model. So nowadays, most of the companies, design firms are working on the BIM model. And also in the international contract, they are saying they will give the BIM model as well to cost you. So when you are when they are going to procure the project, they will give the BIM model. So then it is much easier for us to check the design before costing. And also clash detection. As I said, any services are clash each other, because sometimes in the area AC design is doing in the one document, the plumbing document done by the other engineer, electrical done by the other engineer, structural done by the other engineer. So all the designs are not cooperate together. So because of the BIM, so it is much easier to detect any clash in the services and the structures as well. So, and also life cycle management. That means the managing the building much easier. So all the finer details you can give it in the BIM model. For example, in the airport project, they requested normally say L200 scale they expect in the building, but that is that for that is all that we have to detail the furniture as well. What is the furniture? What is the dustbin size? Where the sprinkler is coming? Everything we have to detail. So it's very easy to life cycle and manage the building. So any problem is coming, it's one computer. Even your home, you can access to the model and see the any problem here. Replacement has to be done in the building like that. Other thing is the regulatory compliance documents. These are the documents you have to involve in the construction projects, design project. Where the document ensuring the project meets local building codes and regulations. So the purpose is avoid legal issues and the project delays. For example, nowadays most of the building you have to sign off the proper structural engineer. So then you have to get the approvals from the NBRO, UDA. Proper calculation has to be given. Sometime now these days NBRO is thoroughly reviewing your excavation retaining system because few buildings are damaged due to the contractor's failure, designer failures. To avoid that one, NBRO thoroughly looking at the calculation report. So this is and also this is a include the permits and approval, environmental impact assessment, safety and accessibility compliance, design calculation, etc. So conclusions, it's all documents are important in each document in the design process, contributes to the project success. In the final, the proper document will lead the efficient, successful project execution and the minimize the risk. Because you know, as in the project is going on, there can be a lot of claims, a lot of conflicts can be arise. So therefore, you need the proper documentation, proper design documentation. Sometimes client, it was happened to us because some of the project clients say to design for the 16-story building or 20-story building. Once the foundation is constructed, he said he want to construct 25-story building. That time we should have a sign off. We should have a proper contract client brief with us to protect that our design. So each and every document, not important for all the stakeholders, but all the documents should be placed in a proper manner. Nowadays, there are so many softwares to maintain these documents. Especially, you know that the databases are a lot of database provided facilities, clouds. So these are more important to handle the project. You may know about Econex. Anyone work in Econex? Econex is one of the popular document management system and project management system. And the other thing is the Basecamp. Those technologies are very important. So you sometimes your procurement side, you are using the SAP. SAP also can consider as a procurement document softwares that much detail you can keep it on that software. So successful project execution, you need the proper documents. That is one of the key requirement because for the procurement state wise also you need this document to procure this project. So any questions on the designs, design of documentation related to the design construction project designs? So these are the documents. I didn't go through the structural drawings. I assume you have seen that all the construction drawings, those are much highly technical, but at least you have to know about what is the structural drawing, what is the architectural drawing, MEP drawing, etc. So these are the documentations you come across through the construction period for the as a construction documents. Any question from you? Okay, so we can close it another 2 minutes. You have another lecture on 8 o'clock now?
Yes, sir, we do.
Yes, okay. So another 3 hours left from me, so I will do the estimations part and also that assignment. I will basically you will get the assignment to especially you have to discuss, as I said, the feasibility studies and the project briefing and selection, the procurement contract methods, etc. So I will circulate through the project course coordinator. So it will be 1,000 to 1,200 words. It's not a difficult task. You have to from my lecture part 1, you have to write the assignment. Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.